You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Menchu Makapagal. The Sugar Regulatory Administration authorizes the import of 440,000 metric tons of refined sugar to temper prices. Under Sugar Order Number 6, 200,000 metric tons will be allocated to consumers, while the remaining 240,000 will be for buffer stock. Let's go straight to the source of the story. Sugar Regulatory Administration Board Member Pablo Luis Azcona. Sir Pablo, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Menchu.
All right, sir, the National Federation of Sugarcane Planters and the Panay Federation of Sugarcane Farmers actually asked the Sugar Regulatory Administration to import only 350,000 metric tons of sugar. But the SRA ended up requesting for the approval of 440,000 metric tons. What is the reason for this? And have you consulted with sugar stakeholders before issuing the order?
Yes, ma'am. We have consulted the stakeholders, and there are stakeholders who suggested 450,000. There was some who suggested 450,000 plus 50,000 raw sugar. The federations that you mentioned, one of the federations in their group previously suggested, when we made Sugar Order Number 2, they previously insisted on 300,000 and it was lowered to 150,000. And they were sort of telling SRA that because of that lowering, we are having problems now. So at this time, they suggested 350,000. And in their letter, they also told us that we can add 50 to 100,000 if we feel that the need is there. And also, they also mentioned buffer stock. So what the Sugar Board decided upon was, okay, if we follow all the suggestions, we might end up with too much sugar. And if we do the 350 as suggested, it was clear that the government wanted 240,000 of buffer stock. So what do we do with this? Should we add it to 350? Should we subtract it from 350? So at the end of the day, the decision was made to have 200,000 plus 240,000 buffer stock.
Okay.
If you look at,
Sige, go
ahead,
ahead
ma'am.
po, sir.
Yeah, if you look at the current projected production, we are projecting about 1.831. Sometimes it goes up to 1.834 million. And if you add the 440 to that, it comes out to basically our historical consumption. So I think the number is just right.
Okay, so how will this import order affect our farmers? Because there was some apprehension about that.
Yes, ma'am. As the farmers' representative to the board, my main livelihood is farming as well. And most of the concern comes out with the arrival dates.
Okay.
But if you read the order, the sugar arrives in the Philippines. It is a usual practice. All of the imported sugar comes in as reserve. It's classified as C reserve, cannot be sold until the Sugar Board decides to reclassify it into B. Now, with this order, the 240,000 should remain as buffer stock. That was that's the rationale behind the 240,000. We should have at least 2 months buffer stock, and that will only be released once the inventory and everything deems proper.
All right.
I would very much want to protect the farmers since I'm a farmer myself. So what's going on right now is there is just an urgent need to temper the retail prices for the consumers, at the same time ensuring that the farmers get a very fair price.
Your target for the arrival of this sugar would be in April, right?
Again, ma'am, sorry.
The target for the arrival of the imported sugar would be sometime in April, correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So has the sugar order been forwarded to Malacanang for final approval?
Yes, ma'am. If you notice, we before everything was done, we had the sugar order reviewed, and after signing, we had it reviewed again.
Okay. And have there been any comments already from the president?
No, ma'am. Malacanang sent us the order back. So as far as I know, I'm very sorry. This week I've spent my time in the farm. But as far as I know, once Malacanang returns it to us, it is considered approved, ma'am.
All right. So it is approved. How many tranches will it arrive in, and where will it be distributed?
Okay. The tranches are 100,000, 100,000, and then 240,000. So it's 3 tranches, ma'am. And then the 100,000, all the economic advisors of the government have always insisted that it should arrive as soon as possible. The main idea of this is to end the speculation of a shortage. It was clearly explained to us by government that the sugar should be in country as reserve. So it will not go out to domestic market unless need be. But it should be in the country, so anytime that we need it, it's here.
Well, data now from the DA's price monitoring as of February 14 showed the price of refined sugar in Metro Manila markets ranging from 87 pesos to 110 per kilo. So how will the importation affect the prices of sugar in the market?
Yeah, if there is a need to do so, ma'am, if the DA and the other agencies deem so, we will release a small part of the shipment to the local market for retail. And what will happen is we are targeting at least a retail price of 85 pesos, ma'am.
All right. Well, in a report, you said the SRA lowered the estimated sugar production for this crop year. Can you give us the comparative data and explain how the board came to this estimation, sir?
Okay. Yeah, like last year, ma'am, the projected production last year was in the range of 1.9 something million, and we ended up with 1.79 million. This year, we've projected 1.8. In the beginning, it was almost 1.9, and then it was, because of the continuous rains, the last projection was 1.831 or 34. I cannot recall the exact number. And now we're very concerned with the closure of CADP in Batangas. This mill decided to close, and now we have about 450,000 tons of sugarcane without a mill. So hopefully the neighboring mills can absorb some of it, but we feel we will have about 200 to 250,000 tons of sugarcane maybe unmilled this year. So that is a big concern for us as well, ma'am.
All right. Well, you're part of the new SRA board as the representative of sugar planters. Can you tell us what changes have been made to the workflow of the board?
Again, ma'am, sorry.
Can you explain to us what changes have been made to the workflow of the board?
Yeah. The previous SRA administration, ma'am, most of the workload was concentrated on the administrator. So what we did recently was we have a lot of committees in the SRA, basically example research, middle district development councils, organization of block farms, farm mechanization, stuff like that. So what the new administrator did was revert back to the previous historical administrations, and we divided the workload of the committees. So each board member now heads a number of committees, basically in line with what they actually, or who they actually represent. So, for example, I had research, development, and extension. The administrator also assigned me to do spokesperson work. And like Mitzi, our male representative, heads the male district development councils. So right now, ma'am, the workload is very divided among the three of us, and we work together as a team.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, sir. Sugar Regulatory Administration Board Member Pablo Luis Azcona. And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Menchu Macapagal. You're watching CNN Philippines.